We all know how profitable social media outreach can be when it's done right. Outreach should be a part of every business owner's social media marketing plan. But the problem with social media marketing outreach is it can be very, very time consuming. And let's face it, if you're busy running a business, you're already overwhelmed and there's simply not enough hours in the day. Hi, I'm Kirsten, and in today's video, we're going to talk about what you should consider when hiring a virtual assistant to act as your outreach specialist. We're also going to talk about 4 CTAs that you can use in your outreach campaigns. Outreach is simply sending a personal message, that could be a DM on Instagram or a message on LinkedIn, and it can be a very effective way to connect with your ideal clients. Outreach can sometimes come off as spam. To avoid that, be direct and professional. Have a clear message that builds a healthy and genuine relationship. Remember, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. Your outreach campaigns should be about building trust and building relationships. This is going to ensure that you get more calls booked and that you ultimately close more business. Hey, if you're finding this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified when we post new videos. Here are 5 tips to help you successfully work with an outreach virtual assistant. The first one, you need to have a plan and goals. Remember, if you're hiring a virtual assistant, you have to make sure you hire the right person. You need to onboard them and train them for what you want them to do. And you need to have clear goals for them. So for example, you would like for them to book 30 calls a month. Now, it may take a little while to get to that point, depending on how many hours your virtual assistant is working for you. So my second tip is for you to draft messages that you want your virtual assistant to use in the beginning. They don't know you, they don't know your brand, and they don't know how you speak. So it's really important that you write messages that are going to land really well for your ideal client. Over time, your virtual assistant will be able to do that for you. And that's going to bring me to tip number 3, making sure that they have strong skills writing in English. If you're going to have them writing and representing you, you want to feel confident with their writing skills. Now, my 4th tip is you need to decide when you're going to take over the conversation. I know time and time again, when we talk about hiring a virtual assistant who specializes in outreach, we often hear, oh, I could never allow someone to represent me. I could never do that. I want to have all of the conversations myself. Well, the problem with that is for most of us, there are just not enough hours in the day. It's fairly easy for your virtual assistant to make the connection and start the conversation. It's 100% up to you when you take over that conversation. So don't feel like it has to be either or. A virtual assistant does it all, or a virtual assistant does none of it. The reality is, it's better off if you have a plan where the virtual assistant starts conversations and can take it to a certain point, and then you can take over. Over time, you might find that your virtual assistant can take it all the way through booking the appointments for you. But it's not hard to have a clear plan on how that's going to work. And I can promise you it will evolve over time. If you've decided to have your outreach virtual assistant book appointments for you, you can do this 2 different ways. The first way is old school. You'd have your virtual assistant log in so that they can see your calendar, and then they would go back and forth with the other person to find a time and date that works well for both parties. Now, another way to do this is to simply use a booking calendar link. You may have your virtual assistant say something like, hey, rather than us going back and forth, I'm going to provide a link for you so that you can find a day and time that works best for you. We often find this to be the most efficient way to do this. Another thing I love about using a booking link is you can have a campaign of emails and even text messages to go out to send reminders about the up and coming call. This will ensure you have less no-shows, and that's really important. So do you have a plan to work with a virtual assistant doing outreach for you? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. So I want to tell you a story about what happened to me. I had someone reach out to me via LinkedIn, and the message was very nice, love to connect, and we connected. The next message was, I'd love to jump on a call with you. I said, yes, that would be fantastic. Then the next message came back that said, hey, definitely would like to book a call with you. At which point I said, perfect, here's my booking link, feel free to book a call. Then the 3rd text message came in asking to book a call. At this point, I sent a note that said, I'm not sure if your bot is broken or your virtual assistant is not well trained. Please read all messages above. The person then immediately replied back saying how sorry she was, and we scheduled a call. What happened next was pretty amazing. She ended up becoming one of our clients. So if you're considering using bots, make sure they're programmed properly. I actually prefer using a virtual assistant because I feel like that human touch is so important. Outreach is about generating leads and closing business. Here are 4 call to actions that you and your virtual assistant can use. Make sure you're using automation, such as funnels, campaigns, and a sales pipeline, so that you can track the number of leads you're getting in and your close rate. This is really important to make sure you're hitting all of your goals. Okay, the first call to action, we talked a little bit about this earlier, and that's to get someone on a discovery call or sales call with you. The goal is to move the conversation off of social media into a one-on-one call with you. So the second call to action is reaching out with something we call a coffee chat. So it's not quite as assertive as a discovery call or sales call because you're working to build the relationship. And I feel like a coffee chat is a great first step because people don't necessarily want to buy from you right now. They don't really know you. They don't know about your products or services. So having a coffee chat is a great way to build that know, like, and trust. And then hopefully you can take them to a discovery or sales call. The third is reaching out with an opt-in. Obviously, this is going to build your email list, but it needs to be something of value that's truly going to help them. If they're going to give you their email address, you want to make sure that you deliver something that totally wows them. And then you can continue to build a relationship through a nurturing campaign. The fourth call to action is about collaboration. If you're connecting with people who have a similar audience as you, it's a good idea to reach out to them to talk about collaborations. This can get you in front of their audience and vice versa. So perhaps they have a podcast or they have a large Facebook group. So don't forget that outreach is not just about leads and sales, it's about collaboration, and that can lead to getting your brand out and ultimately to sales. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up so we'll know to make more videos like this. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified each week when we post new videos. And I will see you in the next video.